right, let's pick up on that story in the business news. A strike for 8 days in the steel industry. It's really starting to bite, with estimates of R500 million lost in production and at least R100 million lost in wages. Now, last year, metalworkers union Numsa agreed on a wage freeze to get through the lockdown. With essentially what happened is there was a 3-year wage deal negotiated in 2017, and then it was extended by another year. So now there's a new offer on the table, which SAFSA says amounts to a minimum salary of 12,734 Rand a month for a general labour. But Numsa is saying no. Let's find out why. I'm joined by Phakamile, Hlubi, Majola of Numsa, which of course is the largest union in the sector. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Phakamile. So 12,734 Rand a month for a general labourer sounds like a decent offer, perhaps. What's wrong with the deal? Why are your members saying no?
Good evening, Sally, and good evening to your viewers, and thank you for having me on your show. Our members are not happy with the deal in the sense that, and you'll know, Sally, that obviously we went into the strike demanding 8%. Of course, it's negotiations, and the employer offered 6%. But what seems to be a sticking issue at this point is that their increase that they're offering is based on minimums. What that means is that if you look at the minimum rate, which in terms of the Metals Engineering Industries Bargaining Council, which is the council that governs labor in relation to, and all stakeholders in relation to engineering, the minimum rate is 49 Rand per hour. So when you say that the increase is going to be based on minimum, it means that the increase will be based on whatever is, it will be based on the minimum and not on what you actually earn. So if, for example, you are earning slightly more in that grade, your increase will be based on the 49 Rand and not based on, argument's sake, 50 Rand if that's what you're earning. And why this is an issue, Sally, is because we're not just negotiating on behalf of the 49 Rand per hour earners, you know. We're also negotiating on behalf of workers who've actually been left out of this agreement because other employers have not been paying the minimum rate. So an increase of that kind would not be a meaningful one if it was not on actuals for them.
All right. So explain this to me, because I've just looked at what SAFSA sent out, and and I know I'm getting a bit technical here, and I'm aware that most of our viewers won't want to dive into this, but it's maybe you can explain it simply. It says here, Rate A workers, which are artisans, in years 1, 2 and 3 will receive a guaranteed personal increase of R4.24, R4.45, R4.67 per hour, respectively, and Rate H workers, which is general labourers, in years 1, 2 and 3, guaranteed personal increase of R2.97, R3.15 and R3.34. That sounds to me like more money in the pockets of those people, which I would imagine is massively welcome and massively needed. Why is it not okay?
As I said, it's because it's based on minimums. And for workers who are earning less than 49 Rand, and there are many, because of the problems in this particular industry, where you've had rogue associations like NIASA, associations like SAIFA, who basically pay workers whatever they want. So we are not just negotiating on behalf of those who are at 49 Rand or more. For them, obviously, it would probably be more comfortable. But for those who are outside of that, who are earning 20 Rand an hour or less, because of these other employee associations who are not paying the minimum rate, it would not be a meaningful increase. And that is the sticking point.
Okay, let me see if I understand you correctly. Sorry, just because I'm not sure I understand it. So what I'm hearing you saying is that there's actually a lack of unity on the part of the employers. And while perhaps SAFSA might be paying minimum wage, other grouping like NIASA might not be. And you're saying, no, we need to bring everyone into the net. And that's the issue. Am I right? Okay.
That is a big issue. That is a big issue. And also I think, you know, I do understand the frustration, even for employers who feel as if, why is the strike carrying on? But I do feel and as a trade union, we feel very strongly that we're not actually that far from each other. The fact that we're at the point where workers are saying we can accept 6%, but we would like that 6% to be on actuals, is to us is progress. So let's work on that and let's try and find each other, because at the end of the day, it's in all our interest to try and resolve the strike. And we must
definitely
also just, say that, it is good that you've got employer associations like CIFSA who are working with us to try and find each other. But we need other associations to join, because if they don't join, then this agreement, we're going to struggle to extend it.
Yeah, no, I hear your point, and I think it's an important one. The other thing that is very concerning is what SAFSA said about, and I'm quoting from their press release, blatant acts of thuggery, rampant acts of violence, intimidation, indiscriminate attacks on fellow workers. Very strong words, but at the same time I was also reading what's gone on in Germiston, where there were, I think, Numsa workers protesting outside, which is their right, but then stories that they were demanding that people inside come out, which of course you can't do because you're allowed to carry on working. But very concerning is that their allegations that the people who were protesting were then basically the police set on them. So please give me an understanding of where Numsa stands on this issue and what's actually happening on the ground with your members, because CIFSA, you've already said they seem like a reasonable body. They're trying to meet you guys, but at the same time, very strong words about possible acts of intimidation. I would imagine Numsa is also very against any acts of intimidation.
We absolutely condemn any acts of violence, criminality and unlawfulness. And we continuously remind workers who are on the picket line that they have to adhere to the picketing rules, because any acts of unlawfulness undermine the demands of workers. They undermine the strike. You're basically delivering yourself to the employer. And disciplinary processes can take place. So we always encourage that it's not just Numsa members who are on the picket line. This is a protected strike for any worker in engineering. But if you are going to picket, you must act lawfully. We, as a trade union, distance ourselves from any act of criminality, because we do believe that that does not help the overall cause.
No, absolutely. Well, good luck, and let's hope that there is a breakthrough. As you say, the two are very close together, but there needs to be more, perhaps bringing other employers into the net of that minimum wage and beyond. Thank you very much for that update. Much appreciated. Phakamile Hlubi Majola. She speaks for Numsa, which is the largest union in the steel sector. 8 days of that strike, but it does seem they're getting very close together, so let's hope there's a breakthrough.